Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Russell Brand!
Hello there!
Never yield the sex appeal, Jim, never! There's always opportunities, there's always flies to be caught.
I'm a good role model for a child.
From TV host and comedian to author and Hollywood actor, Russell Brand has had quite the career.
I can pretend to be nice for a little bit of time, you know, at the beginning of a relationship, right? Pretending to be nice. Yeah, no, it's all right, we can just cuddle. No, we just kiss a bit, that's all right. No, I'm not even that interested in sex. We'll just come on, just kiss. Here, just watch Wonderful Life on the video. The knobstacle course, I call that.
He publicly battled drug and sex addiction and was known for his provocative humour and over-the-top persona.
Because you took your eye off the road, because things was getting a bit fruity out there. All right, Liz, goodbye.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's been really a wonderful experience. How can I do your bra just like this? Liz, I love you.
He can keep pushing and being more and more extreme, and nobody questions it because it just is, well, that's who he is, that's what he does. That's just Russell.
He was once a darling of the left.
You know, probably I don't agree with, apart from my admiration of firefighters, much that Russell probably
Pay
says,
their pensions then, love.
Well, we can come to that.
Excuse the sexist language, I'm working on that.
But in recent years, Brand morphed into a YouTube conspiracy theorist and wellness guru celebrated by the alt-right.
The rubric is falling apart. The paradigm is collapsing. The aliens are coming.
Now, in a joint investigation by the Sunday Times and Channel 4, he's been accused of being a predator. A man who allegedly used his fame to manipulate and sexually assault young women.
July 1st, 2012 was when my rape happened. I was very distraught, trying to get out of the house with him being so much taller than me, like holding me up against the wall.
The two stories that probably have cut through the strongest are the stories of Alice, who was 16 when she had a relationship with Brand, and she accused him of emotional abuse and controlling behaviour and sexual assault. And Nadia, a woman who had a relationship with him in LA when he was out there in Hollywood films in 2012, and she alleges that he raped her in his home.
Rosamund Irwin started investigating Brand 4 years ago, after hearing other comedians make allegations about him in their stand-up routines. She says the women who went on the record to the Sunday Times are incredibly brave.
It's not just going against somebody with some forms of power, it's going against somebody who's got a huge amount of power, actually, and a huge online following.
Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique.
Before the story was published, Russell Brand denied the allegations in a video statement.
Amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. During that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual.
Rosamund Irwin says the Sunday Times team gathered exhaustive evidence about all the alleged victims, including Nadia.
She had text messages between him and her where they're talking about what appears to be the assault. She had medical evidence. She went to the Rape Crisis Centre the next day. She allowed us to see her therapist's notes, which is obviously a very intrusive thing, but she was willing to share those.
Brand has since been dropped by his agent. His live tour has been cancelled, and London police have announced they're looking into another allegation of sexual assault. The BBC has launched its own investigation into what it knew when Brand was one of its stars between 2006 and 2008. One of his accusers claims she was driven from school to the actor's house in a BBC car when she was 16 and he was 30.
They have massive questions to answer, and also this is in a context of a TV industry that claims it has cleaned up its act. That, you know, so much of talk about safeguarding and looking after people. And the reality is that actually, you know, what is indulged and allowed to happen is still quite extraordinary.
Performers on the British comedy circuit say concerns about Brand's behaviour were widespread.
One thing that, you know, women in any industry do when they get together is they talk about
You know, which guys should you avoid and which guys have you had problems with? And, you know, there are various names that come up regularly, and his is absolutely one of them.
Kate Smurthwaite worked with Russell Brand. She says predatory behaviour is common in the industry.
There were a lot of women in comedy who were really hoping that something like this would happen. And I think there are, and, you know, myself included, there are a lot of women in comedy who are kind of going, oh, great that you did this, but could we please not stop at Russell Brand? Could we please expand this out and look around the industry at other performers who maybe are less famous?
It's likely the Sunday Times will have more revelations about Russell Brand's behaviour.
We've had a huge reaction in a way that I've never seen on any story I've done before. And among those are women making fresh allegations, people that we didn't ever speak to, that we didn't ever find, or we didn't know existed, frankly. And obviously we have to scrutinise those in the exact same way.
You got a tissue, where would you like to put it? Can I help you with that?
Should I explain what's on it before I give it to you?
Russell Brand has toured Australia many times.
Yes.
Are there any leads that have come to you about women who may have been abused in Australia?
Yes, and actually long before this story came out, there was a lead I was actually chasing quite hard in Australia and couldn't get anywhere with. But again, we'll have to do the exact same work.